What's up, everyone? Zach Patron here today, doing yet another Danganronpa 3, The End of Hope's Peak Academy, discussion slash review video today. So, we are going to be doing episode 1 of, Despair Arc today, as well as episode 2 for both the arcs today. And tomorrow will be episode 3 and 4, and for future it'll be 5, but we're focusing on the Despair Arc right now, which is a prequel to the first game slash anime. And it's basically how... Oh, spoilers for Danganronpa 2, so play that. It's a prequel story, and it's an origin of how the high school students became the ultimate despairs. So, yeah. Also, this series will kind of have some overlapping features with Future Arc. Like, they'll kind of talk about the same thing. So I recommend you watch the Future Arc alongside this. So, like, beginning of this episode has the teacher, Yukizame, seeing her death in the Future Arc, and she's like, oh, I died. It's funny how I'm the first one to die, yet I survived the most awful, most tragic most tragic event in human history, caused by the students that I taught. And then she's like, of course, you probably know about it too, but you don't know how it happens or something. And she's like, this is how the students became the ultimate despair and caused the most awful, most tragic event in human history. And she's, does it have a happy ending? I wonder. And then the opening plays, which I like the Future Arc's opening a bit better, but this one is also very good, especially when it has like Hajime and on one side and Izuru on one side. Izuru. And it's just like, oh yes! Yes! It's just like, I want to see that happen so bad. I just want to see like Hajime just there one day, and he's like, yeah, Hajime, blah blah blah, and he's like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna be a test subject, and then he comes back the next day, and he's like, look at me, I have long hair now, and I have red eyes, haha. And it's just like, bro, when did your hair get so long? It's like, I don't know. It grew while they were experimenting on my brain. Did anyone ever question that? Why? Why does he have long hair? I mean, I get at the end of Danganronpa 2, he, like, cuts it all off, and the theory is that he kind of shares the consciousness with Hajime now, which I don't know if that's entirely true, or if he's just kind of agreeing with what Hajime said in the program. But, yeah, I don't understand why he has to have long hair. Also, Nagito is in this episode, and if you don't know, he's my favorite character from Danganronpa in general. Well, besides Izuru, who is also one of my favorite characters. Even though we don't see a whole lot of him, he just seems like epic. She's like, yes, look at me, I have long hair and I have red eyes and I am the ultimate hope. You all suck. You're all boring, and I hate you all. I don't know why, I just really like that. Also, Chiaki's in this episode. I should probably get into the description of this episode. Sorry, I was talking about the opening and I completely got sidetracked. So, basically, Yukizame gets there, and then there's that guy, I forget his name at the moment, who was also in the Future Arc, who's apparently survived, and he's like, yep, sorry, I'm drunk, I can't teach these kids right now. And they're like, Yukizame, you're gonna be the teacher for the ultimate student. It's like, oh, okay. And he's like, oh, did you hear, what's his face? The silver-haired guy. Also, the president of the school is Kirigiri's dad. They're like Mr. Kirigiri and stuff. Like Yuma Kunta or something? I don't know. The silver-haired guy from Future Arc. He is the one who got her to be a teacher and stuff. But at the end of the episode, you find out that it was actually all just to expose the secrets of Hope's Peak Academy. So, basically, she gets there, and it's like there's only 4 kids there, which is Sonia, Mahiru, Hyoko, and Fuyuhiko. And she's like, why is there only 4 of you? And they're like, who are you? And he's like, oh, I'm your new homeroom teacher. And Fuyuhiko is like, What happened to Mr. Munakata? That's his name, I think. Yeah, Munakata. Um, he goes like, "What happened to Mr. Whatever?" And she's like, "Oh, he's vomiting." He's like, "Again?" And so all right, we're gonna find all the kids, and I think first they try and find Nekomaru, who is in the bathroom, and he always takes like giant craps, and he's like, yeah, and then just like explodes the entire like backfield. And he's like, yeah, sorry, I let it rip a bit too much. And he goes like, not that's more than just a little bit, because it literally like destroyed the bathroom and like the forest, like half of the forest, it just like wiped out. And then who did they find next? Where I'm looking at all the kids trying to think. I think they get Terra next. He gets there, then he gets tied up. Then they find I think they find Kazuichi next, and he's building a giant robot. And then they're like, stop doing that. And he's like, oh, okay. And then they find. Hold on, I'm trying to look through all the people. Then they find Gundam, I think. Yeah, and he's like performing it looked like alchemy, but I know it wasn't. He was like performing a ritual because he's like from hell or something. But he's basically just like, you cannot say my full name, for it is a demonly name or something along those lines. And she's like, yeah, whatever. And they bring him to class, and he's like, fine. And then they get Peko, who's like, oh, I didn't realize it was past time, sorry. And then they get. Oh yeah, and then Kazuichi's like on the sidewalk and they're looking for Nagito, and he's like, I don't want to be near that guy. Every time I go near him, something bad happens to me. And then he gets hit by a truck, and he goes flying, and the truck goes flying. Meanwhile, Nagito is like trying to get what was it, a Dr. Hopper? It was supposed to be a Dr. Pepper reference, I assume. He's like hitting the button. He's like, man, I put 1,000 yen in and I still didn't get it. I'm so unlucky. It's ironic because he's the ultimate lucky student. So he's like, oh, I'm so unlucky. The truck comes crashing down onto the vending machine, somehow not crushing it all, and all the Dr. Hoppers come out to him. He's like, guess I really am lucky. And then he gets back to the classroom. He's like, oh man, you wanted to meet scum like me? You really are a great teacher. She's like, you're not scum. You're rotten origins, because she made that joke before. And then he's like, he's probably thinking, this teacher's insane. So then everyone's like, no, we don't want to walk anymore. So she's like, fine, go and clean the classroom. And then Kazumichi's like, no, I don't want to. And then she gets a bunch of knives on his neck. She's like, no, you are going to. And he's like, yes, I will. And then she leaves. She gets Mitarai, and I'm pretty sure it's the ultimate imposter being him. I don't think that's the actual Mitarai. I might be wrong. Please don't yell at me saying that I'm not a Danganronpa fan, because I don't know this. I don't actually know this. I think it's the ultimate imposter being him, but I'm not entirely sure. And then Hajime's there, and he's thinking about, like, he's thinking about all the things that, like, I guess bullies said to him, being like, you have no talent, you can't just pay your way in here, it's ridiculous, blah, 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 and he gets angry, and then Chiaki bumps into him, and he's like, yeah, are you okay? And she's like, yeah, and she keeps walking away, and then, Yukizame gets there, the teacher, and she has Ryotai in her hand, because he's, like, trying to run away. And he's like, oh, you must be Chucky, the ultimate gamer. And by that uniform, you must be Hajime from the revenue course. And Chucky's like, oh, what's that? And Yukizame basically just says, oh, it's basically you pay your way to get into Hope Speak Academy. You don't have to have an ultimate talent. And he's like, I wish I had a talent. And she's like, well, talent's not everything. You have freedom. You can do whatever you want. Meanwhile, me, I'm just stuck to games. So then they get back to the class, and Hajime is like, yeah, you're right. And then they get back to class, and she's like, all right, we're going to do this all tomorrow. And, yeah, that's the end of the episode. I really like this episode. I can't wait to see where this show is going. And, yeah, hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, remember to like, comment, subscribe. Peace out, guys.